I have chosen 5 viral videos with millions of views, and some of these are just horrible. But hopefully we can all learn something from going through this. And if you have some thoughts when we go through these videos, leave a comment down below and we can open up a healthy discussion down there. So let's dive directly into the first one.
Running is useless. It's negative exercise. You should stop doing it. Like, it's the stupidest thing. Nike invented it to sell shoes in 1965. Jogging is such a waste of your time unless you're doing it for mental stimulation or to take in fresh air. Like, don't do it. You're going to end up with knee issues as you age. You will lose type 2 muscle fiber, which is going to reduce your metabolic rate. Then you start putting on fat if you don't run.
I can't believe that millions of people are watching this crap, and probably mostly young people, and many probably believe everything he says. I will break down everything he claims in that little video, but first let's talk briefly about why I think content like this is so bad. So this guy is standing on a stage speaking with a high confidence, making him look believable, and in his bio it seems like he has written multiple books. That makes him look credible in some ways. So let's say a young guy watching this already doesn't like running because he have been pushed too hard running in school. Of course that person will take this for an absolute truth and think, oh perfect, running is negative exercise and it's unnatural for us human beings. It was just invented by Nike. Oh great, then I never have to run again, and it's just bad for me either way. And then he potentially misses out on a great way to stay healthy and fit, both mentally and physically. That's why to me this is harmful advice and misinformation. So let's break what he actually says down a bit. He claims that running was invented by Nike in 1965. Really? That couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, our whole body compositions are made to run. In fact, running really long distances is the only thing we as humans are superior physically compared to other animals. Studies have shown that humans likely evolved to run very long distances in order to chase down prey. The extreme type of endurance fitness that is required to run down a deer or antelope in this sort of persistent hunting that our ancestors did to survive was a normal thing for us humans thousands of years ago. According to this study, the researchers discovered that the bones of prehistoric humans were more dense than ours, which is a natural adaptation to the impact of running, which suggests the early humans likely ran far more often and for longer distances than most of us do today. Other studies suggest that it was common for early humans to have the running capacity of today's really competitive cross-country running athletes. But sure, yeah, Nike invented running back in 1965. That sounds like truth. Nike might have helped bringing back running as a popular exercise form, but no, we humans did not start running in 1965. He also mentions that running is useless unless you do it for mental stimulation and to get some fresh air. And yeah, those are positive aspects of running, that it is good for you mentally, but not just for fresh air and some mental stimulation. Running has been shown to have so many positive aspects on our brain. Okay, so he also claims that we runners are going to develop knee problems as we get older. Let's look at this article here. Studies have shown that recreational runners, that are most of us runners, have 3.5% risk of developing osteoarthritis as we get older, and a non-runner, like the guy with the microphone on the stage, has a 10.2% risk of developing it. Yes, for competitive runners, the risk seems to be slightly higher, of 13.3%. So not a huge difference there either for people who run a lot, but yeah, a slightly higher risk. But running for health reasons and running moderate actually decreases the risk of degenerative knee problems a lot, as this study shows. But this guy states that all runners are going to end up with knee issues as we age. And then his point about running being a negative exercise. Yes, if you run a lot and long distances, it will be harder to build big muscles and become really big. But if you run long distances, you most probably don't want to carry a bodybuilder's muscle structure around either way. Our bodies are great at adapting and becoming good at whatever we do a lot of. And not having super big muscles is a natural adaptation to running. and makes you a more efficient runner. But no, running is not negative exercise somehow causing you to get less fit. Okay, enough with my rant about that guy. Let's check out the next video.
Olympic runners put ready whip in their shoes and unheeled exposed wide. NASA engineers found regular insoles were useless, so they suggested ready whip for extra cushion while running, but that's not all. After learning how bad regular running shoe insoles were, I tested everything from cheese to marshmallows to mayo. Sure, they gave extra cushion, but they slowed me down. Until I discovered Victory, these carbon insoles don't taste as good, but make me run faster than ready whip. I used to think us slow runners didn't benefit from having carbon insoles, so Victory gives me insane energy returns no matter my pace.
Okay, so that video is from the sponsor of this video, Victory, who makes these insoles, and I promise that replacing your insoles with these are way better than putting whipped cream in your shoes. I've been using this gold VK carbon fiber insoles a lot over the last half year in my training, and I really like that springy energy return carbon racing shoe feel you get when you put these into your shoes. And what's great is that once your shoes are worn out, you can just continue using the same carbon fiber insole in your next pair, instead of having to throw away a perfectly fine carbon plate just because it is integrated to your super shoe that is worn out. As for the taste of these insoles, I haven't tried that, but I think they're way better put to use inside of your running shoes. If you want to try out a pair of these, then you can check out the link in the description. They're currently offering their biggest discounts of the year, but no matter when you watch this video, if you use my link, you will get a good discount. And they also offer a 90-day money-back guarantee if you don't end up liking them as much as I do. Let's move on to the next video that once again will make me a bit frustrated. I am pretty sure if I remember correctly. Okay, so this guy is going to teach us how to fix runner's knee. So before we even watch this video, the main thing that has been shown to help this patellofemoral pain syndrome, or more commonly known as runner's knee, besides resting from running and adjusting the load that way, is to strengthen the hip and the thigh muscles with the different strength exercises. So for you to not just take my word for it, this is what the Natural Library of Medicine says about the injury based on the current state of evidence. Exercises that strengthen the thigh and hip muscles can help. Other treatments haven't been proven to help. Now let's see what this guy recommends. Okay, he starts with saying that you should run on softer surfaces, and that might be a good thing for some, but nothing specific to this injury. Okay, his next suggestion is these high knees run drills, and to start and end your runs with these high impact exercises for your knees, if you have a runner's knee problem, I would highly advise you not to do. You're way better off starting off with a walk and running at an easy pace as you warm up to get your blood flowing. And I'm not saying that drills like this are absolutely bad in every way. It can be a good plyometric exercise to strengthen tendons and muscles, but high impact drills like that is the last thing I would recommend to someone with a current knee injury. Then you're much better off spending that time on strength exercises with a slow movement and trying to continue the running. Because running is actually a far less impact than these extreme high knee drills. Yeah, of course it's good to have shoes that fit, but that is more common sense, I would say, and nothing specific to runner's knee, but yeah. Yeah, stretching and mobility work might help some people if you are really stiff in certain muscles, but I would not give it as a general advice to everyone. Some runners with runner's knee are going to be more over flexible, and they should for sure not spend any time stretching at all. So to say that that's like something that helps in general is just wrong and have no evidence backing it up whatsoever. So let's check out the last tip, and if I actually mention the only thing that has evidence backing it up. Yeah, I guess that is generally a good advice to increase mileage slowly. Overuse and doing too much too soon is a big reason to these types of injuries. So it can help you prevent it. But this video was about how to fix runner's knee. And of course, if you have gotten runner's knee, you shouldn't increase your mileage. You're way better off actually decreasing it, working with strengthening exercises, and as the knee feels better, then slowly increase your mileage back up again. This is the kind of videos that triggers me a lot. I mean, how can you make a video about a topic and fail to mention the only thing that evidence has actually shown help with those kind of problems? I really hope that most people realize that they shouldn't take injury advice from a 30-second TikTok video too seriously. But the sad thing is that I know many actually do. When I was looking through this different running content giving really crappy advice, in my opinion, I still like the comments are flooded with, oh, can you come with a suggestion? I have pain here and there. What should I do? And oftentimes these creators answer with things that I, as a physiotherapist, at least would not recommend. So yeah, that makes me a bit frustrated. And for this next video, I actually went and looked for running tips video that I thought was actually really good advice. And believe me, it took a while, but then I found this video.
If you want to stop sucking at running, here's 4 things you must do. 1. Run slow. The number one mistake new runners make is running too fast. If you have to stop and walk, that's okay. You shouldn't be gasping for air.
Yeah, that made me really happy to see, because that is actually my number one tip to new runners as well. Run really slow to avoid injuries and build up that aerobic base, and that will actually make you like running. And then if you want, you can start introducing some higher intensity workouts as well. So let's see if he can follow up with another good advice here.
2. Be consistent. The priority is to get out there and keep running. Results don't come overnight, so you can't give up too soon. It's better to be consistently good than occasionally great. Try running in the morning so that way it's the first thing to do in your day and you don't have excuses later.
That's also a solid and great advice. And his first advice of running slower will also help you and allow you to have better consistency in your running. I also love the running in the morning tip. That's why I ran every single morning for 4 years straight. It's such a good start to the day.
3. Track your runs. Don't obsess over the numbers, but track your distances and times so you can see how your fitness improves over time. Use your smartwatch or fitness app on your phone.
Yeah, that's maybe not super important, but if you think it's fun and it motivates you to track your progress and how much you run and don't over stress about it, it can be a great thing. And the other great benefit with actually tracking your runs is to make sure that you don't increase your weekly mileage too fast, which, as mentioned, is a big injury risk.
4. Set a goal. Set a mileage goal every week or sign up for a race so you have something to work towards and hold yourself accountable to.
Yeah, that's also great. I'm a big believer in goal setting myself and believe that it really helps with motivation for most people. And it was so good to see that there is not only horrible advice out there. Run with John is his TikTok account, and that was solid advice. Thanks for that. Simple, but in my opinion, great advice. It also made me a bit happy that I did not feel like an angry old man watching these TikTok videos for once. But then I watched this next video.
Here's how to go from bad running form to good running form.
Yeah, okay, we can't have a video like this reacting to viral videos on TikTok without including one about running form. Because there are so many running influencers giving running form tips. And most of them triggers me because they are just based on myths and have no real point besides suggesting some simple fixes that for most will make more harm than good if they implement them. But let's just watch this one and hear what he has to say.
A lot of people, when they first start running, myself included, tend to heel strike. This is when your heel is the first thing to make contact with the ground. Correct and most efficient way to run is actually to land in the mid to forefoot area.
Yeah, okay, he claims that the correct way to land is on your mid to forefoot, and landing on your heel is wrong and it will lead to ineffective running stride. This is for sure really bold statements with no scientific evidence backing it up whatsoever. And no offense to this guy, he's probably great and probably do many other good videos. But clearly he hasn't read a single study on the topic or even observed what the elite runners do. But still he knows what is bad and what is good running form for everyone. This is my problem with these short form platforms, that there are no room for nuances. It's this black and white, heel striking is bad, forefoot striking is good. The thing is that where you actually touch the ground first when you're running, if it is the toes or the heel, it seemed to be very individual based on your own anatomy. And what is more interesting is where you land compared to your central mass, where overstriding, landing way in front of your central mass, can lead to some braking forces. But the fact is that studies have shown that the majority of runners actually land on their heel. And also among top elite athletes, it is a big variation of where on your foot you actually land. This review that looked at many studies made on this topic concluded this. Based on examining the research literature, changing to a mid or forefoot strike does not improve running economy, does not eliminate an impact at the foot-ground contact, and does not reduce the risk of running-related injuries. But still, this guy on TikTok knows better. Let's see what the comments says on this video. I'm a bit curious actually. Okay, there are some good feedback to him here. Here is one with similar feedback as me that says heel striking has no correlation with efficiency or injury. The half marathon world record holder is a heel striker. And his answer to this is, you can still run fast and far with bad form. That doesn't make it correct. It's one thing making this video claiming that you know all the answers, but then when you get some constructive feedback to answer in a way like that, I'm not a huge fan of. But yeah, it's true that although many top elite runners land on their heel, that doesn't prove that it is ideal. But the combination that so many of the world's fastest runners land on their heel, with proper scientific studies also showing no correlation with heel striking and worse running efficiency or injury, makes a pretty good case that heel striking is not wrong or incorrect or really bad. So what does content creators like this guy actually think makes running form correct or not? Is it that a TikTok influencer say so? Maybe, but by the way, I continued looking a bit of his videos, and this I found really interesting and a bit funny. If we look at this video here, we can scroll here, there. He has a quite pronounced heel striking himself, and this is a recent video, and when I checked all of his videos, it's clear that he is a heel striking himself. So I don't know why he's fighting this fight online so hard when he has nothing to back it up and doesn't even listen to his own advice. And as a physiotherapist, I get riled up by videos like this because I really want to warn you about trying to make quick changes in your running form or force a running form that feels unnatural to you just because someone on the internet says your way of running is incorrect without any evidence backing it up whatsoever. We all have unique body compositions, so we will all run a bit different. And what's ideal running form for you will depend on yourself. And my best tips on actually improving your running form and making it more efficient is to run more. But of course, again, increase that mileage gradually. Your body is great at becoming more efficient in whatever you do, a lot of, especially a so natural movement to us human beings as running is. Because once again, it was not invented by a shoe company. If you want to see me break down more running form myths, you can click here. Thanks again to Victory for sponsoring this video. Check out their insoles in a link in the description to get 20% off. Train smart, have fun, and I will see you in the next video.